Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So in this late night stream, I want to talk about what happened. What happened to Cardano? What happened to Bitcoin? I think there's an important lesson to be learned, especially with the noobs, the newcomers in this space. And yes, a lot of you guys watching, you're new to the space and you don't know what happened. Why didn't things keep going up? Why don't things go up to the moon? Well, that's what this stream is all about. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to break it down for some of you guys that is relatively new in this space and basically lay it out for you. What can happen, what could happen, and what usually does when you get too greedy. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so make sure you don't miss anything. Hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, especially Twitter. And I'm really loving some of you guys on Twitter. You're helping me build up these relationships, and you're helping me reach out to projects that I normally would not be able to. So I love it, and I'm going to address that in a little bit. All right, guys. Some of you guys that are in the chat, eager to talk crypto. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let me change my screen here. So, well, let's start out with Cardano. I usually start with Bitcoin, but let's start out with Cardano. All right, Auk, you need to stop it or you're going to get banned, man. So, looking at Cardano right now, it's at 123, 124. And I'm hearing from a lot of newbies like, oh my God, why did it fall? Why did it dump from 150? Why didn't it continue to keep going? Why is it coming down, right? Why did it dump? Well, that's if you FOMO'd in at the very top. And that's if you're looking at a smaller time scale like 5 minutes or 15 minutes. But what if you look at the daily time scale? Well, then you realize no dump occurred. This is a flash crash, yes, but no dump occurred. Cardano keeps going up and up and up and up and up. And you'll see that what happened today doesn't even really show up at all. So that's the thing. There's so many newcomers in this space. They expect quick profits, instant, wealth. And sometimes it does seem like that. Sometimes it seems like that when newcomers jump in, maybe like right at 103, they see it go up 20% to 120 something, and then they see it go up another 20% to 150, and then they're like, oh man, I can't lose. This is such an easy game. So I'm going to buy more at the top. And then guess what? It comes down, right? It happens. It happens because the whales, they're smart. They realize this happens, right? And I'm seeing it more and more now as more people come into the space. A lot of people are FOMOing in. They don't do, and this is on Cardano. This is on something that's a big cap. But I'm seeing it a lot more on smaller caps. People are FOMOing in on a project that's up 100% for a day or 200% a day. And then they complain and wonder what happened when it comes down 50% or comes down 40%. And now they essentially got wrecked, right? Here's the thing. This is what I've been saying. Don't chase the gains. Let the gains come to you. If you're trying to buy while something is going up and up and up, this is most likely going to happen. Things do take a breather, and sometimes they do sell off and come back down. You don't want to FOMO in. What you want to do is buy when things are low. This is what I've been saying with Bitcoin, with any other altcoin. When things drop down, that's when you dollar cost average and you hodl, because then you let the gains come to you when they recover and go back up. Now you're in the green, and it doesn't matter if it goes up 1,000% or 100%. You're okay because you bought at a lower level. But unfortunately, when you FOMO in at the top, this is going to hurt. If you bought Cardano at 150 this morning and now it's at 123, that's going to hurt. But, put things in perspective. You zoom out a little bit, you realize, well, this is at the same point as yesterday before this morning's pump, and this is still 20% or 30% higher than its recent low of like $1.20, right? So that's where you got to learn. You got to let the gains come to you and not FOMO in. And this is a prime example of that, because for the last 2 days, a lot of people have been talking about Cardano, how it's going to go to the moon, how it's going to go a lot higher, which I still agree. I think it's going to go much higher than $1.23. I think it's going to go $2, $5, $10, possibly as high as $25 one day. Yes, the sky's the limit for Cardano, but it's not going to come tomorrow. It's not going to come next week. There's no need to rush. You know, crypto already moves very, very, very quickly. But you know what? Unfortunately, with newcomers in the space, a lot of them are expecting instant wealth. Like, hey, I put $100 down, I'm going to be a millionaire by next week. That's how fast crypto moves. And if you have that mindset, you're going to get wrecked, and you're going to get wrecked hard. Just kind of like Dave Portnoy, right? As wealthy as he is and as seemingly knowledgeable as he is, he got wrecked the first time he came in, and he got out like only in a single week. And that is what's going to happen to you if you don't have that patience, and if you only focus on chasing the gains, and you will lose. You will lose. So it's the same thing, not only with Cardano, with Bitcoin too, right? But Bitcoin, I've been covering along for a very, very, very long time. There is absolutely no need to be panicking over Bitcoin when it falls a little bit. If it falls 2,000 points at this point, that's just a few percentage points. You don't even notice it. It doesn't even register, especially when you zoom out like this. It's just ridiculous to be fearful at $57,000, right? And it's the same thing when you zoom out on Cardano. It's really ridiculous to be fearful at $1.24 when it was at 10 cents not too long ago. When I say not too long ago, I literally mean not too long ago, like 4 months ago. It literally went from 10 cents to $1.25 within 4 months. So gains come very, very, very quickly, but don't chase it, because if you chase it, that's how you get burned. And that's exactly what happened to Cardano. It went up very fast. There was a lot of hype over trading on Coinbase Pro, right? And a lot of people FOMO'd in, and you know, unfortunately now it took a little breather. A lot of people lost money, right? But here's the good thing about Cardano. It's a big cap. A lot of people love it. It's going to do just fine. You just simply hold and wait until it comes back, right? Now, here's the thing. I mentioned about whales. Whales are very good at detecting this too. Of course, some whales have the power to move markets. Most whales, they can move a little bit. But some whales have enough power to move even Bitcoin down or up pretty significantly. So I was looking at this, and this is horrible. And this shows you what greed does to people. So look at this. This is going back all the way to September. And the greens is actually the shorts getting liquidated. The red is actually longs getting liquidated. All right. So you could see that going up from September all the way up to about, last few weeks of November. You'll notice that the greens are bigger and longer than the reds. There was more shorts being liquidated at that time as Bitcoin crawled up above 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 beyond, right? And then the reds start creeping up, and look at it now. Since December, mid-December till now, you could see there's a vast, vast difference between the longs being short liquidated and the shorts being liquidated. And guess why? Because there's a lot more retail people that's coming into the space. There's a lot more people that are greedier. They want to utilize leverage. They think that only things will go up, and they want to make a quick buck. And that is why, look at the difference. You have days, billion plus dollars of longs being liquidated, and it keeps happening. And the whales, they recognize this. They recognize that there's so many people that are greedy, that are chasing the gains, and they could do this all day long, right? But if you're a holder and you're dollar cost averaging, you have zero fear at all, right? you look forward to down days. You look forward to dollar cost averaging your Bitcoin or even Cardano or any of your favorite altcoins, right? But when you're really, really anxious and you're really greedy, bad things happen like this graph shows you. And the people that are playing these kind of long contracts, they have been in the space for a while. They're not even noobs. I think most of them are seasoned, or they considered seasoned traders, and they're getting wrecked left and right. And you don't want to be one of them. You don't want to be one of them, right? So it's really as simple as that, right? And also what I'm noticing right now with a lot of newcomers and noobs is not only, FOMOing in, but a lot more is focusing just on the small caps and micro caps. And you know what? I think they're missing out. Remember I said portfolio 50, 25, 25. 50% in Bitcoin for stability, 25% in big caps for also stability and growth. And then of course 25% in mid caps and small caps for growth. But you know what? A lot of newcomers in this space, they're like 100% in small caps and micro caps because they expect, again, to turn into millionaires overnight. That's not going to happen. That's how you wreck yourself. Make sure you're diversified. If you have a well-built portfolio, it'll carry you far. It'll carry you far. Not only will you gain on Bitcoin, but it'll also stay steady on down days and retracements. And things like this with Cardano coming down or Bitcoin coming down, right? You won't even notice it in your portfolio because others are carrying it upwards. So that's why you also have to pay attention, be diversified. When I'm going through CMC and I mention many projects, yes, I cover a lot of new projects, but I cover a lot of projects that are really big, mid caps that are becoming big caps. And I can't say enough good things about them because they're fantastic projects and they keep going up. But unfortunately, a lot of people think, oh, it's too high, I'm not going to look at it. For example, Theta. Theta's up another 8% today. I've said recently that it's going to become a big cap, right? But a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's 8 billion. It can't possibly go up 1,000x. So I'm going to look at, a small cap instead. That's not the way to do it. You have to have a good diversified portfolio. Otherwise, you're really setting yourself up for failure, right? So again, this whole video is just laying it out for you guys, especially newcomers in the space. And maybe some of you guys are not newcomers and you need to hear this. Don't be too greedy. Don't chase the gains, right? Have a good portfolio strategy, dollar cost average, and HODL. And if you do that, you're going to see substantial gains with zero stress. Zero stress. You don't have to stay up until like 2 a.m. checking your portfolio, wondering what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't need to do it. You don't. Because tomorrow you'll wake up and you'll see your portfolio is just fine. And probably in the green if you have done it right. So, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. Tonight is actually a slow news day, but I wanted to just kind of give you guys an update because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about, oh, what happened to Cardano? Why did it fall? I'm down, X amount of dollars. Why didn't it keep going up? Well, this is perfectly natural. And if you just zoom out and you're not chasing the gains, you'll realize this is fantastic for Cardano. It's actually really fantastic. It's on its way up, slowly but surely. And it is sitting pretty at, where is it? Number 4, right under Binance Coin, right? And they're like neck and neck between a number 3, number 4, right? And if you look at it, both of these projects only 5x away from Ethereum. And you know what? By the end of the year, maybe they'll catch up. Maybe they could catch up. I don't know. I mean, it's very early to make that call, but you know what? They're doing just fine. They're doing just fine. And Bitcoin being above $1 trillion, doing just fine. There's no need to be worrying and panicking right now. All right. That's pretty much it. Now, before I get in Q&A, I do have a word from Kava, my sponsor, which is a promising DeFi project. But just to give you guys an update, their mainnet for 5 is coming out in a week. But they have announced an incentivized testnet to test out some of the things they plan on implementing. So if you want to test out and try to win some free tokens, go ahead and utilize the incentivized testnet. It's going to be testing out their new hard money market. And you know what? You can earn up to $10,000 by doing so. So check out Kava and this new incentivized testnet if you have time. All right. So I'll turn it back to you guys, and let's do some Q&A. Let's do it. Oh, by the way, before I do Q&A, I do want to say that I want to thank a lot of you guys on Twitter because I've been telling you guys what happened with Chili's and their CEO, but I've been saying I would love to start doing interviews with a lot of projects and project leaders, especially the ones I've covered. A lot of you guys have been reaching out to those projects. I've been getting emails, a lot of emails left and right today. So hopefully I'll be able to interview Harmony and their CEO or one of their leaderships soon. Also LTO Network, which is one I've talked about. Of course, I have B Pro lined up tomorrow night. And Voyager CEO Steve Ehrlich, he might be on board too. So I'm making a lot of connections. Oh, I forgot Yam too from Animoca Brands. Hopefully he could come on. So I'm building it up. I'm building it up. So I think going forward, there's gonna be a lot of interesting interviews and conversations. And I don't plan on holding back. I plan on asking some tough questions with these guys. Questions that you guys have been asking about too. So thank you for that. And if you guys do have more projects, connections with projects or community managers or whatever, right, that you think it's interesting, let them know. Let them know. Love to have them on board. All right. So that's it. Okay, now I get to do Q&A with you guys. I would love to get Sonny from VeChain. I would love to get him. I don't know if he does interviews, but I would love to get him. And I love to get CZ. And I love to get Michael. All these big guys. But I might be too small for them. But, I still love to do it. Ukomi and their CEO. I know a lot of you guys say Ukomi CEO seems to be a pretty nice, down-to-earth guy. I love to interview him too because Ukomi is doing very well. Appreciate that super chat. Rebecca. Drep. No clue about Drep. Connectors and toolboxes. Based on Drep chain ID SDK. Smart pipeline. Okay, reading all that, I don't get what any of that says, but let me see. Drep token 100 to 1 redenomination. Okay, so they're building connectors and toolkits based on blockchain technology, providing solutions that combine ease of use, flexibility, frictionless integration. I don't know what that means. That just sounds good. Open data ecosystem, on-chain disrupting status quo, segregated users and data on multiple chains. Again, I don't get what that means. It's a high performance, okay. It is compatible with Stargate, okay. So it's some kind of chain. It's some kind of chain that can execute smart contracts and compatible EVM, but that's just a whole lot of jargon that a normal person would not understand. Rack, I have not done a deep dive on Frontier. But I know they're like a NFT marketplace kind of aggregator, I believe. I have not had a chance to look at it. No, not NFT, but DeFi aggregator. But it seems like they're not done yet. So, add for support. Various DeFi projects on many different chains. I mean, it could be good, but you gotta wait until it's... Wait, it says you can... we have created a demo. Yeah, so it looks like... it looks promising. I don't know anything about the team. So, let's put that on a maybe list. Maybe list. What did I miss? Did I miss something? Are you talking about GameStop or Game Life? I can't tell. And there's a tokenized GameStop. I've not been. If you're asking about GameStop, I have no idea what's going on. I've stopped keeping track of it. I know there's been volatility up and down, but I can't comment on what's going on with it anymore. Yeah, probably a dead project. No traction at all since early 2019. Spaceboy George, is your plan for the end of the cycle? Okay, that was an incomplete question. I'm gonna keep all BTC at ETH and sell alts. That's not a bad plan. If you go holding for long term, just keep everything. I mean, it really depends on what happens by the end of the year. But I do think that we're gonna be more of a super cycle than a normal cycle. I just don't see these big guys, institutions actually having weak hands and just dumping everything. I just don't see that. I see them more of just holding on to Bitcoin because they realize it's so scarce and it's going to be replacing gold in the future. So why would you not keep hoarding and hoarding and hoarding more of it? And if that happens, then I don't see why Bitcoin would have an 86% drop like previous times. So if Bitcoin doesn't have an 86% drop, then none of the altcoins are going to have a 80 to 90% drop. So it really depends. It really depends. But I think it's more of a super cycle than anything. Would you diversify your portfolio if it's the same? You have 500 or 5,000? Yes. Yes. I think that's a very important question because a lot of people coming in will have 500 or 1,400 stimulus check and they're like, let's go big. Let's bet on all the shit coins. And guess what? That leads to zero. And then you end up with nothing. It doesn't really matter. Even 500, 5,000, 500,000, $5 million, you should be diversified. It's the same thing. You want to have stability of Bitcoin. You don't want it to go away. And stability of Bitcoin is not a bad thing because Bitcoin still has a lot of upside. And all the other ones too. It's good to have some small caps and micro cap that could really carry your portfolio. For example, like B Pro on their crazy run recently, definitely carry a lot of people's portfolio. But if you go 100% in, you're setting yourself up for failure. So yes, you should. What happened on a 326 CME contract expired? I have a few bags. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Bitcoin future expirations? Well, that's next week. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow and this weekend, right? And see if Bitcoin has a big move up. And then maybe we can prepare for that. But right now, we've got to get through the week first. DOS is an old one. It's an old one that, they claim they have 1 million transactions per second or something. I think there's more promising blockchains. Why and how do you take profits in BTC rather than USD? Well, you have two options. USDC or USDT or USD. You could do a stable coin or cash. It's one or the other. It's the same thing. Profit strategy is basically there's no right or wrong. If you want to take some profits out, you think you made enough, too greedy, there might be a downturn, just take some off. So what? Take some off the table and that's it. It's that easy. I would always stress that you should have some cash on the side so that in case there is a downturn and you want to dollar cost average, right? Then you could do so. Is there a lot of problems with spammers today? Do you think AMP and Flexa has potential to make big gains? Yeah. Once the economy gets better, once retail stores open up, yeah, definitely. BitBoy said the bull market is over. I don't know if he said that or not. But if he did, I don't agree with it. But I think it's unlikely he said that. I'm happy with ETH stability lately. Thoughts on how EIP 1559 will affect the next few months? Well, let's say it depends. If the miners approve. A lot of miners do not like it because the fees that they collect goes down significantly. Recently, I just posted a picture of one of my computer shops where I live, and the cases are empty. GPUs are flying. I can see why gamers are mad that they can't buy any GPUs. But yeah, with EIP 1559 implemented, it'll be better for Ethereum. There'll be a deflationary token burning aspect built in, and it's easier to calculate gas costs, but the miners get a lot less. So we'll see if it gets approved in July. Colin, man, I just got done saying don't always focus on micro and small caps. Look at some good stuff sometimes. I feel like too many people just keep looking at micro caps, keep looking at lottery tickets, and if you keep doing that, it's no good. It's no good, man. All right, just the fact that they're not on any good exchanges means it's not go pump. So I'll just end it with that. There's so many good mid caps that has been moving and moving and moving, and people just keep ignoring it. For example, Theta. Keep talking about Theta. Keep talking about Terra. And these two guys have just gone up and up and up and up. VeChain has been doing very well. Cosmos, FileChain, of course, after the Coinbase edition, right? You go down the list. A lot of these promising blockchains like Solana, also, of course, Chiles, right? A lot of these guys are mid caps that have been moving huge, and the risk level, the volatility is a lot less. Don't always concentrate on micro small caps. Fantama, I appreciate it. York asked, do you expect the same pattern when ADA gets listed on Coinbase? I think guess when it happens. Before, when something gets added to Coinbase Pro, it's usually like 1 to 2 weeks afterwards, but I don't know if that's changed recently. Maybe that's later, but usually it's like 1 or 2 weeks. 1 or 2 weeks. Walton Chain, they rebranded themselves in a DeFi play. I'm not sure if that's the right move or not. Yeah, Theta, T-Fuel, especially T-Fuel. T-Fuel has gone up like 600% within the last few months. So again, and T-Fuel is part of Theta. It's not a micro small cap. It's a mid cap. So there's a lot of good projects in the mid caps too that I feel like a lot of people are overlooking. Faith, I like Mana a lot. I think Mana is one of the promising NFT plays, virtual world. And they have done really well recently. Obviously, up 83% for the last week. That's pretty darn good, right? So they're doing good. I think they're doing good. I mentioned about getting the CEO of Animoca Labs, to come on the show and do an interview. But they're behind. They have a really good history. They have good ties with the people behind Flow. But also, they're the ones behind Sandbox, which is kind of like Decentraland. Also, a few other ones that I mentioned before, like Rev and also Limpo. But yeah, I'd love to get them on and kind of do a deep dive on like NFTs and how they all connect and stuff like that. Not a big fan of Pundi. I just don't see how they're going to compete. Wax. Promising NFT marketplace backed by Mike Novogratz. I like them a lot. APY, I don't know who they are. APY Finance. No good. No good exchanges, but yield farming, robo advisor, that's horrible. Horrible idea. Crypto.com signed sponsorship on NHL. Did they really? Well, Crypto.com, yeah. A lot of good things I'm hearing about Crypto.com. I did learn something about their debit cards today, or lack of debit cards. They do have all these cards, but they're prepaid cards. I thought they were debit cards where they withdraw from your wallet. It turns out I was wrong about that. That kind of sucks. I don't know why they don't make it so that it just automatically withdraw from your with your wallet. You hear a Theta drop? No. No, I am not. VThor is the second token for VeChain. It has also done very well along with VeChain. So again, very good. Very good indeed. Hellcat, what does CRU do to you? Brian, hey. Lucas, appreciate that. This is Living. Thoughts on Polka City as a small cap. Ooh. I don't know what. A fully autonomous contract-based NFT platform that allows you to invest in virtual assets. Okay. It's not going to pump just being on Uniswap. Earn profits by owning virtual taxis, gas station services. Why only virtual taxi, gas station services? So they're NFT farming, I guess, because it says you could earn up to these. Yeah. Very, very little. Too early. Too early. I feel like a lot of people find like if it's a new project on Polkadot, it has to be good. That's actually not true. In fact, most of these NFT projects and DeFi projects on Polkadot actually don't do well at all. So I don't know what's the deal with that. Dark Flyer. What price cap do you think ETH has to get to not pull down by BTC? Probably equal market cap, if not higher. And I don't know if it can ever do that, but if Ethereum 2.0 takes off and all the dApps and everything, continues forward on Ethereum and NFT marketplace evolves, DeFi evolves, and it keeps going big, and one day it's at the same market cap, if not bigger than Bitcoin, then it'll decouple. But right now, it's nowhere close to that. Nowhere close to that. QuantStamp, old projects, all they do is, they check smart contracts to make sure that there's no bugs or vulnerability. They used to be kind of like the top dog in that space, but there have been contracts where they reviewed that have been hacked and there was vulnerabilities found. So they're not 100% at what they do, but it's not a very sexy project that a lot of people like to invest in. Polymath, no, they're concentrating on selling SEO tokens, security tokens, and they don't have the blessing of the SEC, so I don't get how they could do that. No. Hellcat, are you actually talking good about an altcoin? Yes, Harmony's on fire. That's why. They have a stellar team. Harmony has a stellar team, and they are one of the really good mid caps that people should look at. They're up 24%. I believe they formed a partnership today, but they're on fire. Love to get, like I said, I'm talking to someone, their chief marketing officer, trying to get Steven on the show. I think this is a promising blockchain that's doing really well right now. Paint, a lot of people have been shilling Paint. It's just like a mural where you can paint. Yeah, it's called Mural. And then you can paint and and create an NFT with it, right? Not on the best exchanges, but it's okay. Let's just say it's okay. B Pro, still like a lot. I have the CEO coming on tomorrow night. Going to ask them some hard questions, but they have done really well recently. And they're getting into NFTs too. What are strange 0ETH BlockFi transactions? I don't study that. I don't know. See, Hellcat, I'm slowly convincing you not to be Bitcoin Maximus. But there's nothing wrong with holding a ton of Bitcoin, that's for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Feeling a little down today, but hey, Bitcoin's coming back up, and you know what? Cardano's coming back up, so feeling a little better already. But yeah, the point of today's stream is I know there's a lot of newcomers, and I don't want to say I'm not trying to shame newcomers or noobs, because when you enter the game, you're like, yeah, you want to make big money, you want to make quick cash, you want to become a millionaire overnight. I get that, but trust me, that's how you get wrecked. It happened in 2013, it happened in 2017, and it's going to happen in 2021 if you have that philosophy. You don't want to do that. You want to let the gains come to you. You don't want to chase the gains. You don't want to FOMO in. You want to discover the projects or buy when they're low rather than high, because the point is to buy low, sell high, not the opposite, right? So that's what happened with Cardano. You know, it took a little breather. It's still high, especially compared to just a few days ago. And if you zoom out, it's very high. So nothing's wrong with Cardano. Nothing's wrong with Bitcoin, right? You just have to change your perspective and not be so greedy like all these longs that have been shorted. I mean, that has been liquidated for the last few months. This is staggering, the number of longs that got liquidated versus the shorts. And that's due to greed. That's due to newcomers. That's due to just a lot of people that's just risking too much. And you don't want that. You don't want that, right? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned for my stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good night, guys.